With the classic, sorry, quick question. There's one name I didn't hear mentioned, the Ayrton Senna. In his car, is that saying that's not going to happen, or is that perhaps in the future? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we never say never. So on the roadmap, we knew we always wanted to do classics. There was no secret in that when we were ready to do it. You go out, and it's very, very easy to design a game once you know what toys are in the sandpit, you know. So there's obviously a number of concepts that you can begin to think up. You can replicate entire season, you can replicate historic scenarios. Both of those situations require a very specific, you need to sign off this, or this doesn't come out. The complexity with licensing a team that's in this year's current World Championship, with all the sponsors that were in back in yesteryear, and getting two drivers who make sense to be driving that car, i.e. are still with us. There are some drivers who are obviously sadly no longer with us. Getting all those components is very hard, and then added to that, you know, there are multiple teams on the grid now that are formed out of the ashes of other teams. So trying to find the person you need to speak to get it signed off by this date and have the confidence that you're going to do it is more challenging than we ever thought, to be honest. So we would like to see F1 Classics in all of our future F1 games. We think this is very much the beginning. In terms of, I think once the full team and driver lineup is unveiled, I think everyone will understand why we've chosen the route we have. You know, there are double figures of licensed drivers, and you know, a large, decent percentage of that is legendary names. You know, and fans of the sport love cars, of course they do, but you resonate with a particular driver. You know, Mansell was my childhood hero until he retired, and then, you know, Schumacher was doing something different, and then I can imagine that people who started watching the sport in 2000s thought that Schumacher was boring, just like people think that Vettel is now. Some people like Lewis. Lewis to me is another version of Mansell. He doesn't like managing tyres or fuel perhaps so much. It's all about, let me rag this car, and I'll either get a podium or a race win, or I'll be nowhere. And that's very much in the ilk of Mansell. So I would never say never to anything. The further back you go, the harder it is. There were multiple drivers in the eras that we were looking at who sadly aren't with us anymore. There were extra licensing complications in terms of Senna in particular. The Brazilian PC game has got his exclusive rights. And you have to have a cut-off date in the sand when you lock down the content. So hopefully in the future, and again I think, you know, if you're looking at the scenarios, Senna would fit he would fit into a recreation of a season or a recreation of a moment, as opposed to let's just celebrate an era and have all these drivers racing against each other, the concept. You know?